Hello, welcome back guys on my channel. So what do you think? Who saved HSR? Is it Panaconi story? Is it Firefly story? Is it HSR first anniversary? Or is it anything else? In my opinion, the first savior point of HSR was the Panaconi story. Well, the final delivery was not even the expected that the community wanted to. But one thing is for sure, in Panaconi, they released a new mechanics which is called the Super Break and also released the core team for it which is the Ruanme. But in that time, if you don't have Ruanme, you cannot even properly utilize the Super Break team. Just like the Siren is for the Remembrance team, but Siren is not even as much as need the Ruanme is need for the Super Break team, or you can say the Break team. But after some times later, the developer released a new version of the Super Break MC, and that was a very much of a good one, because Super Break MC was like alternate version of Ruanme. If you don't have Ruanme or fail to get Ruanme, you can even use the Super Break MC for your Super Break team. Super Break is a kind of a break damage level 1 up. This is not even like a huge upgrade, but when you are just going to deal a break damage, Super Break is going to be deal another additional damage which is going to be called as a Super Break, and it can be enabled by the Super Break MC, and Super Break MC is a free version. You don't have to pull for him. All you have to do play the story and complete certain missions. You will get him Constellation. That was the time when the Super Break was considered as a future-proof meta, because people are thinking that you don't have to get the created kit damage for a perfect relic set. Most of the time, this is very hard to get it, because created kit damage is not even something that you can even get without your luck. You have to put your every resins, and also there are some other luck factor work into build some created kit damage DPS. But in terms of the Super Break or also break characters, all you have to do just pour some break characters, then you can even do the highest amount of damage. So that was a break things, but when the developers see that this is a threat potential for the future characters that they try to introduce to us, they just prevent it, making it lock toughness bar to a certain enemies. So if your just enemy's toughness bars cannot be broken, the Super Break damage is not even happening. But that thing is can be doable after some when the Dahlia was released, but there's a release for 1.5 years later of the Super Break characters release. So now Super Break is kind of a, or break characters is kind of a usable if your character's toughness bar is locked. But that's another thing, but that's not even the thing what saved the HSR. I think the saved the HSR point is the Amorphous, and which is come with a new path which is the Remembrance, and also new mechanics which is called the True Damage. Yes, True Damage is one of those mechanics which save the HSR, and also it creates so many opportunities for the old teams. You can call it like an unconditional buff for the old team, where your bench DPS can be used for this current meta or respective meta. Why am I saying this? As I already mentioned before, when they try to introduce a new path or new mechanics, they always give us a free version of MC of that version, or like of that path. And in that case, it is not even the different. They give us the Remembrance MC. We called it a similar word is RMC. Now, when the RMC was released, it just created a huge opportunity for every Remembrance team, and not actually Remembrance team, outside Remembrance team. It also created opportunity for the old character, because this RMC provide a true damage character for a certain one characters. You can call the RMC as a Temu version or like an alternate version of the Siren, or you can say the free-to-play version of Siren. If you fail to get Siren, RMC will be there for you. Now, why am I saying this? True damage is one of those mechanics where it is just totally ignore the resistance of the enemy. Like your character is supposed to be damaging like 20,000 or 40,000 damage, but the damage resistance of that enemy has, it just lowered down to your 40,000 to 10,000 or 13,000. But before doing any kind of damage, you have to have a certain characters or certain support characters to lower down that particular enemy's defense to do the actual damage. But that will take a time. But in terms of true damage, it doesn't have to be this kind of things. All you have to do, put a true damage support character just like the RMC and also Siren. They will just provide a huge amount of true damage to your certain characters. The certain character will do the actual damage that character meant to be doing without lowering the defense or any other things. But this true damage can also be stacked up if you have more than one characters who can also stack up this true damage for your team. This is the huge things which happening in the Amorphous region. But when the Castorus was released, that time is totally changed the whole game scenario. Most of the big CCs who control voice for this HSR, they just quit this game, because this Castorus does not come along with a lore where whatever she touches totally dies, but she also in practically makes her appearance make also vanish the whole fan base. why it was happening, because when she was released, she also coming back with a universal mechanism, or you can say the global passive. What is global passive? Like having on her account on your team, any character will give a certain revive, but that revive not going to be 100% healing, just like the Bailu. But that's not the main thing. People are thinking that if they are trying to do this universal buff for a certain characters, or if the multi-billion company doing this kind of predatory practice where you have to have this character, other than you cannot even get this kind of passive. So the other companies who are also is a gacha company, they will be think that if the big company can do that, why won't we? That kind of thing was also happening between the communities. So that kind of create a very much of a controversy, and people were just leaving the HSR and thinking that other characters will also be this kind of global passive, and this game is going to be a very much of a predatory one. But after some times later, the players who really, big CCs who really want to quit, they just quit and move on. The players who have a faith in this game, they just remain there and keep grinding, and they just realize these things, I guess, is going to be happening only for the anniversary character who is going to be the release once in a year, because anniversary going to be happen once in a year. So that's the time this is not going to be the problem. But after some times later, when the true damage is not even restricted one, it creates a huge backup, and I think that this is the one which saved HSR. But the way they're just handling the election right now in 4.0, I don't think so it is going to be the same way what was happening in the Amorphous. And one thing is for sure, if they don't even release the like a election MC, then this game is doomed, because election is a very much of a restricted, even restricted than the super break. You have to have the election characters to do the punchline generate, and this generation is helps to do the AHA damage, and this AHA damage is going to be happen if you have the election character on your team. So that's it for this video. I think if you have any kind of question, or if you have any kind of comments regarding this topic, that what saved HSR, I think you can also drop your share of your thought that what saved HSR in your opinion. But in my opinion, Remembrance 2 damage was the savior of this HSR, and you can call it an unconditional, or you can call it an unconditional buff for every other characters and also your old characters too. So I guess that's all for this video. If you like it, leave a like, and see you on the next video. Peace.